Alright lads, so 1000 Year Blood War Round 7 has finally been resurrected, and with that we are going to be showcasing the characters over the next day or two. For today we're going to try out ORIHIME, and then later today we are going to try out the Mad Monkey himself, that being of course Ichibe. Now ORIHIME in this case for the most part is going to perform like a max transcended character. As you'll see here we have level 10 SP, level 10 focus, and level 10 attack. This was actually done when the character first came out. I actually really enjoyed playing with this character. I mean, I just like ORIHIME, and this design itself made me want to actually use her. And it was only until yesterday, actually, that I ended up getting 500 SP on this 6th slot. Was not intended, only did that on a whim, did like, what, 2 rows, and I got it. And that's great because she is a good link. So even if I don't use the character, I'm still definitely going to use her, because right now, she's actually my best link in the entire attribute. And that's one great thing about her resurrection, right? So I guess starting off with that, what exactly did she pick up? Well, again, the soul trait originally being 12% strong attack recharge, now being that with 20% more strong attack damage when you are full stamina, is a really great soul trait for any power character, whether you have Frenzy +1, Frenzy +2, or in the case of Ichigo, Frenzy +3, the 8th anniversary version. And of course, now that I have her at 1000 SP, she's my best link in the entire game, so it was worth the investment. And this, for the most part, over the next few or so years, will probably be on every single SP character that I do use, because it's a really good soul trait. Alongside that, though, as her innate skill, she did pick up 20% Havoc, which is 20% more range on her strong attacks. Of course, picking up Havoc on any resurrection is always great, and in her case, I do like it because her SA 1 and 2 definitely do need that added range. It helps with its inconsistency, to say the least. But her SA 3 already being a 4-screen attack, now being an above 4-screen attack, is overall now a very solid strong attack. So Havoc is a great skill to pick up, and then for the skill that she did pick up, because she picked up an additional skill, she got multi-barrier +2. Remember, her SA2 can heal and also protect your team, and now with the multi-barrier, it's +5 for herself and +3 for your teammates. And it's with those skills, it overall makes her a better support character, since she's now providing extra barriers, and she's also a better DPS character, although keep in mind, nothing super crazy, but she now can do more DPS since she has more strong attack damage and more strong attack range. Now, for those wondering about the build, we are using a Daddy is a Great Whistle, a Fortification Pill, and of course also a Super Spirit Javelin, all with 30% SP. For the links, we're using Yamamoto because he does give us 12% recharge, but also he is max transcended, so we're getting more stats from him. We have 1000 Year Blood War Renji for 12% recharge and 16% more damage at full stamina. And then I guess let's give Aaroniero 25% strong attack damage, 10% recharge, and he is max transcended, so we are getting a tad bit more links. Bonus abilities include full stamina and also long strides. Alright then, so jumping into Inheritance Trials, let's quickly showcase the character's strong attacks. Her SA1 is going to be a pushback attack, a freeway attack, not really the greatest. As you can see there, it didn't really kill. The SA1's inconsistent, and that's always been its problem when this character was first introduced. It's like sometimes it can kill like that, for example. But then sometimes if the enemies are far away, it doesn't really do the greatest amount of damage, right? Her SA2 is going to be an area around her and does provide us with a 5-hit barrier for ourselves and a 3-hit barrier for your teammates. And then the SA3 is going to be above 4-screen strong attack 3. I will say, since I did play with the character before resurrecting, she definitely feels better since her damage output is higher now. But the range on the SA2 and 3 feels a lot more just consistent in terms of just doing damage, right? You're able to hit more enemies because, for example, while we didn't actually kill that one enemy there, if we didn't have the Havoc, we wouldn't even hit him. Let's go here though, let's use our SA3, does wipe them out, you'll have to see it, and then we should get back to full stamina with our SA2, there we go. If we go here, use our SA3 into the 1, unfortunately missed that one enemy, but that's just the nature of the strong attack 1, right? I will say though, while it feels better, of course, you're still not really going to use it or want to use it in IT. She can't inflict any status on, so ideally you don't want to use her here. Of course, she can play the support role, but do you need that extra support, right? I'm not really too sure. Maybe if there was hollow enemies, you'd be able to take it into comp IT if you really wanted to. When you don't have killer, when you can't fit any status elements, it's probably best not to. Let's use our Sobom though. Again, I love that Soul Bomb, and the Soul Bomb can do a respectable amount of damage since it does apply weakening defense. In that case though, for our very first run, what was the clear time looking like? A 1 minute and 51 second clear time, not really the greatest, far below that, but let's try that once more and see if we can clear just a tad bit faster. Alright then, so going into our second quest, we're going to start off using our SA2 and then go here and use our SA1, because that does take out that enemy, there we go. SA3 is enough to take out a whole wave, which is actually really good. And then we're going to have to just use our Nat String and basically rely on the SA1. That's the biggest problem about this character. It's just that SA1. It's not good. Even with the damage increase and range increase, it does help. But I'm not going to lie, having a better SA1 would have been more ideal here. So let's use our SA3 here. Not really the greatest usage of it. Maybe if I position myself better, we could have taken out multiple waves there. We're going to go here, though. Let's use our SA2 into the 3, into the 1. Good amount of damage there, at least. We're going to go here, use our Soul Bomb. There we go. And now we're into the final wave, where I think at this point, all we got to do is one SA3. There we go. That felt like a much better run. Obviously, using our Soul Bomb on stage number 4, I believe, was able to allow us to spend less time against each individual wave. And in that case, we did get a 1 minute and 4 second clear time. So for comparison's sake, someone like Nemu, for example, I believe was able to get a 45-second clear time. So it is kind of in line with what you would expect of Orihime like this, is that the upgrade itself is good. The support abilities is nice, the extra range is nice, and the extra damage is nice. But she's still been held back by that SA1 because it's not really the greatest. And that's always been her shortcoming for the most part. Since that SA2 is a heal move, it comes back a lot slower, 20-second cooldown. You are relying on doing a lot of damage and a lot of times. You are using that SA1 on multiple waves. And the SA1's inconsistent. It's not really the greatest. But still, regardless, at least in single player IT, we were able to get a decent clear time. Maybe 1 minute and 4 seconds isn't really too bad to say the least. But I guess there's one reliable place you can take it, and that is, of course, in Inheritance Zone. You know, let's say, for example, you have the E-Burn Link, even if you just want to carry people. You are allowed to do that, and she's going to clear just fine. IZ itself isn't really super hard. It lets you play around with characters like this that, you know, are on the older side of release. Like you can see here, we're not really struggling all too much, and we are clearing relatively fast. And even though there's a single player IZ, if you did take into co-op IZ, you know, it's still kind of the same, right? And that's what I kind of like Inheritance Zone, because it allows you to take some old characters into the game. And the drop rate in IZ, especially when the rates are doubled, for example, it's so high, whether you have a Linkster character or not, it doesn't make that much of a difference. So let's use our SA3 there we go. And now we're going into the final room where once we can just finish up with our Soul Bomb. And again, the Soul Bomb can do some respect amount of damage since it does have weakened defense. There we go, 185,000 damage, not too bad. And IZ does regularly change like almost every week, so there are going to be times when you have killer. With Inheritance Trials, for example, the enemies themselves only change once a month. So a lot of times when you don't have a killer effect, you're going to have no killer effect for an entire month, right? IZ, you're more likely going to have killer. Let's go ahead and use our Soul Bomb though, just because our strong attacks are still recharging. That wasn't too bad. Let's use our SA1 there. Decent amount of damage against some of the enemies. And then finish up with the SA3. Unfortunately, not the best actually positioning of my character, I will say. But it should be fine because SA1 here. Push back a few enemies with our Nat string. And then SA3. Into the 1. Few more Nat hits. And there we go. We're already basically finished the quest, right? And since we do have killer against the boss, one strong attack from the boss is enough to take down White Ichigo. So yeah, while IT might not be the best place for Orihime, at least IZ is still a respectable place to bring her. Again, we still do play IZ, right? I definitely do. And if I wanted to have fun with my potential favorite character, let's say you're still waiting for a new 1000-year Blood War Orihime, you can get used to this one in this particular quest. So next up, we're going to take Orihime into epic raids. Have no idea how this is going to turn out, but she does have weakened defense built into the character. And with that, with bonus abilities, we gave her double weakened defense. And she is going to play the support role to give our team, you know, shields, for example. And again, for those running, this is the build, right? We are using the E-Burn Link ourselves, so we are getting the 5 additional Linkster potions. So in a situation like if you are a big Orihime fan and you like this character and you have access to E-Burn, you can just use E-Burn as a link to turn someone like Orihime into a Linkster character. Now, in this case, to be fair, you might be better off just bringing E-Burn since he does have significantly more damage in this epic raid, especially as a bonus. But you'll see here, with the boost SA2 that we do have, everyone's going to get that +3 shields. And I myself am going to get the +5 shields. So it's going to make this raid a lot easier, where the attacks can be, you know, quite out of nowhere if you've yet to actually learn the pattern itself. At the same time, remember, we do have a good damage output, many on our Soul Bomb, right? So we're going to use our Soul Bomb here, or I guess we'll use it on the 3rd phase. But our Soul Bomb will apply double weakened defense, and that's a 60% damage increase. It's quite noteworthy. Just make sure we just stay back just a tad bit. There we're going to use our SA2 there. Now everyone's got this shield. We don't really need the heals, to be fair, because we have a Ruroka on our team. But you know, the extra heals do help. So far, no one's really been hit, to be fair. And let me use my Soul Bomb right now. That's going to apply the double weakened defense. And hopefully we get through this stage a tad bit faster. I'd like to think we're doing a bit more damage here. Just a few more attacks left. Ideal with that SA1, by the way. You want to get up a tad bit up close and personal. And then let's use our SA3. And the boss goes down. You know what? Wasn't a bad run, to be fair. Was not a bad run. Did Orihime need to be there? I mean, it helped. I didn't get hit. I'd like to think most people didn't get hit, right? So that is something you can do with this character if you really want to. I mean, of course, you can always just bring other links or characters. You can always just bring Iban. But if you want to have fun with a character you enjoy using, maybe this Orihime, for example, you are at the very least getting that extra bit of support, the heal SA2, the barrier SA2, the double weaken defense on any given phase to clear that stage faster. And then, of course, if you have the Iban link, you're also getting the +5 links or potions. So at the very least, you're also getting some value per soul ticket. Anyway, lads, with that said, that was the video for today, trying out the new 1000-year Blood War Orihime Resurrection. As already explained, it's a good upgrade. More damage, more range, more support. You really can't ask for anything more than that. Obviously, she still does have some drawbacks, some things that aren't so great about her, but that's just built into the character, right? No status ailments, a bad SA1, no resurrection would fix that. I think her support abilities are definitely the highlight of this character, like already mentioned in co-op, for example, on epic raids. If you have access to Iban and you want to play the support role, you can take it into IZ, you can take it into epic raids, and she's going to perform just fine. You're not going to be holding back the team. Instead, you're going to be helping them, especially in the case for epic raids, where a lot of people still haven't learned the pattern and still end up taking unnecessary damage. As someone that is a fan of this character, I'm happy to see her get a good upgrades, and while I'm not going to use her all too much, I was still having fun using her today in this video. Either way though, that was the video for today. Let me know what you like to invest characters' resurrections in the comments below, and as you lads next time, take care and peace.